everyone and welcome to today's video, where today I'm going to be going through my predictions for the 2021-2022 Premier League season. Hopefully this season I can get a few more predictions correct compared to last season. But without further ado, let's start at the bottom and work our way to the top. In 20th place, I am going with Norwich. Every time that they make it into the Premier League after getting promoted from the Championship, they never seem to do that well. Sure, they get a few results here and there that excite the fans and may even get a shock result against a big team. But this season, yeah, I don't really have much hope for Norwich, so 20th it is for them. In 19th place, I am going with Brentford. If it wasn't for the fact that Brentford have Ivan Toney in their squad and a striker that really excites me for this Premier League season, I probably would have put Brentford bottom, but I think his goals are going to help a little bit, and I think they will just finish above Norwich in 19th. In 18th place, I am going with Watford. The last time I remember Watford in the Premier League, they were going through managers left, right and centre. But I've got a feeling they've got a bit more stability. I think they've got a bit more stability about them. But I still think they're going to get relegated. So unfortunately, Watford in 18th and all of the promoted teams from the Championship, yeah, I think they're going to go down this season. In 17th place, I am going with Southampton. Now, they have just sold their best striker in Danny Ings to Aston Villa, and his goals have really helped them in avoiding relegation. But if they don't get a striker in, and a good one at best, then I can see this being a very, very bad season for Southampton. So without the goal scorer, yeah, they're going to finish in 17th. In 16th place, I'm going with Brighton. Now, I know that they've sold Ben White, their best defender, to Arsenal, but I still don't think it made too much of a difference for Brighton because they were pretty good defensively last season. It's just up front that they just don't score goals. So I reckon the minimal goals that they will probably score and maybe a few more goals conceded without Ben White, yeah, I could see them finishing in 16th. In 15th place, I am going with Burnley. Now, they are pretty much a stable club right now. They don't really make that many exciting signings, and even when they do sign someone, it's just, you don't even notice that they've actually arrived. Is again another stable season for them, maybe fighting relegation at some point, but Burnley to finish 15th in my opinion. In 14th place, I have gone with Wolves. Now, they had a very, very bad season to their standards last season, and with a new manager who I've not really heard much about, I don't really know what the future holds for Wolves this season. I don't think they're bad enough to go down in relegation, but I could see them just having a very stable season given the players who they might lose and players that they're getting in. I don't even know about that, to be honest. In 13th place, I have gone with Newcastle United. Now, at one stage, it looked like they were certain to go down, and they didn't, and they just kept on winning towards the end of the season and picking up valuable points. So I think it will be a similar story this time round again. Fight relegation towards mid-season, and then when it comes to like the final 10 games, they'll shoot up the table. So for Newcastle, I am going with 13th for them. In 12th place, I have gone with Crystal Palace. Now, having Patrick Vieira as their manager is incredible for Crystal Palace fans. I think Vieira is going to be playing a lot of positive football and not like last season where it was very negative from Roy Hodgson. Not to forget that they are getting rid of players who were over the age of 30 and they're trying to rejuvenate the squad by bringing in a load of youth, whether they're buying those players or bringing them in on loan. It looks exciting for Crystal Palace this season. I don't think Crystal Palace will do enough to get into the top half of the table, but it does look exciting for them this season. In 11th place and narrowly missing out on the top half of the table, I'm going with Tottenham. This is off the assumption that Harry Kane is not going to be at Tottenham anymore, and how long it took them to even get a new manager in. I think they went through like 10 managers who were on their shortlist, and they just didn't get those managers until they got Nuno Espirito Santo. So given that he wasn't even first choice manager, it doesn't look as promising for Tottenham this season. It's probably the most controversial decision I've ever made for my predictions. And yeah, what can you do? In 10th place, I am going with Aston Villa. Now, I know that they have sold Jack Grealish to Man City. However, the signings that they have made in Buendia, Leon Bailey, Danny Ings, and maybe some more transfers to come for them, they are bringing in a lot of quality players to the squad. But with the effect of Jack Grealish not being at the squad and not knowing how Aston Villa are going to cope without him, I have gone with Aston Villa to finish 10th. In 9th place, I am going with West Ham United. I still think it will be a decent season for West Ham, and whilst they were shocking every single football fan by trying to get into the Champions League, I still think that they'll have a decent season with the squad that they've got. They'll be a team that you got to look out for, and yeah, it will be a decent season for them. In 8th place, I have gone with Leeds United. Now, they surprised me a bit when they did finish in the top half of the table last season. And whilst I don't think they'll be challenging for a Champions League qualification or even Europa League, I still think they're going to maintain the fact that they are a top half table side. And I think if they finish in 8th, then they can start building and getting more quality players coming through into the squad. And yeah, who knows, Leeds might even get back to where they were many years ago. In 7th place, I've gone with Arsenal. Now, this feels a little bit generous putting them in 7th, but with the players that they've got rid of, and they've got Ben White in the squad, who's going to be quite vital for Arsenal this season, I think Arteta is starting to know what he wants from his squad, and honestly, it could be a better season for them. They've had horrible seasons throughout the many years recently, and I think that this will be an improvement, shall we say. In 6th place, I have gone with Everton. I know Rafa Benitez is their manager, and he used to manage Liverpool, and he slagged them off many years ago, and now he's the Everton manager. He's still a great manager. He was definitely punching above his weight when he was at Newcastle and getting the best out of that squad when there's not much you can do with it, and yet somehow Rafa Benitez did so much with that. However, with the quality players at Everton, I think Rafa Benitez is going to have a lot more fun with this Everton side, and I think they will be in 6th place. 5th place, I have gone with Leicester City. Now, I know this seems harsh putting them in 5th because obviously they've finished 5th over the past 2 seasons, and there's this question mark of can they get into the Champions League. I've definitely given them very bad predictions in the past, so this season I put them way higher, and I just don't think they've got enough to get into the Champions League. So for me, they're finishing 5th. In 4th place, I have gone with Liverpool. Now, I know that they've brought in a centre-back in Konate from RB Leipzig because obviously the injuries to Joe Gomez and Virgil van Dijk had a massive effect on Liverpool. And I think defensively they are going to be more sound compared to last season. However, up front, it's still the same front three of Salah, Mane and Firmino. And with how bad Mane and Firmino were doing. I don't expect that much of an improvement from them, and the strike force is just going to be carried by Mohamed Salah. So for me, given how much Salah is going to have to do this season, I think they're going to be finishing in 4th. In 3rd place, I am gone with Manchester United. Now I know that they've signed Sancho and they're signing Rafael Varane, and they look like a better squad compared to last season. They still need a midfielder, like a central defensive midfielder, and without that, there's still going to be the same issues like they have had in recent years. 2nd place, I have gone with Chelsea. After the resurgence under Thomas Tuchel and winning the Champions League against Man City, they do look like a very decent squad, even with the players that Thomas Tuchel had at his disposal from Frank Lampard. And I think if they do sign a world-class striker at this moment in time, they haven't signed anyone as of yet, but if they do, they've got a really good chance of fighting for the title this season. And last but not least, to finish first, I have gone with Man City. I mean, what are people expecting? Like, we won the Premier League last season. Why can't we do it again? I mean, we're signing Jack Grealish. We're hopefully signing Harry Kane or a striker, just anyone. I'll admit, I do have my worries about Man City this season. Obviously not signing a striker, and we're possibly going to go with the false 9 like we did last season. I feel like we're going to get found out, which I really hope that's not the case. But it won't be as easy to win the Premier League this season, especially when you've got Chelsea and Man United who look like better teams from last season. So there we go. Those are my predictions for the 2021-2022 Premier League season. Some very predictable predictions by me there, but also some shock ones as well. And I can honestly say I cannot wait for this Premier League season to get started. But anyways, that is where I'm ending today's video. I hope you have enjoyed. If you did, then be sure to give the video a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and I will see you soon with another video. Peace!